because I don't believe in it. What's up, guys? Lifestyle investing, where we invest based off our lifestyle to build a future lifestyle. How you guys feeling, man?
Feeling good.
You feeling good?
Yeah.
Energy? It's good?
Lots of energy.
Yeah, please smiles.
It's fun talking about this.
I know it is,
I love
dude.
it. Yeah.
I love it too, man.
Yeah.
So, quick question. Especially like the last 30 years, I think it's been like really like nailed in our heads. Diversify till you die. Well, what are you guys' thoughts?
And you disagree.
Well, I didn't say that.
That's how it feels.
I'll
go first because I think you're going to have something more powerful to share. But
no, don't say that. Listen.
What I like, I like, exactly. I like the idea of diversifying in my 401k and in my retirement.
Okay.
And I listened to a couple books that really kind of changed the way I think about it. One of them is called The Power of Zero. So it's figuring out, basically it's teaching you, pay your taxes before you start investing so that someday you're not going to be taxed on the income that's coming out. So I put mine in a Roth 401k. My company matches in a traditional, but that's one part of it. Another part through Tony Robbins' Money Master the Game. He's got a ton of experts basically saying diversify and try to find the easiest, cheapest way to beat the market. And how basically what I've learned through that is you can buy an index fund, which I heard you talk about earlier, where it's going to outperform over 90% of all these like high paid bond managers who only 4% of them ever beat the market. So and that's just based on whatever the stock market's doing. So like S&P 500 index. And I learned through studying that Vanguard usually has super cheap, I mean, basically 0.05% versus 0.85% or 1.25% or something. So that's my diversifying, is going based on a large scale of an index fund. And I saw like in 2017 15% growth in my 401k just because the stock market's doing crazy stuff. But what putting that knowledge into action showed me that I like this. I like making money.
Yeah.
I haven't been hurt by it yet, so I don't feel the pain of needing to change my idea. But for me, that level of diversification definitely is working.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, what you don't like is when you diversify and you have a big win, you're also having losses that parry that back. Like, so you're not able to ride as much of a gain.
No.
Okay. Well, I want to hear your thoughts.
No. I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, so I mean, diversifying. There's many ways to diversify. I think one of the things that I have a very diversified stock portfolio, but
do you do that on purpose, or do you just do that because that's how your investment portfolio turned out?
Both. I mean, I'll actually echo what he said. Like I 401k, like a lot of my maybe like a house down payment type fund, I have very diversified, because I want to be able to grow that long term. And that's a diversified portfolio. The market's going to grow. It's going to double every 7 years. I mean, that's historical. That's how, based off of, this 8 to 12% interest, you're just going to see that.
Yeah.
And so I want that. Compound interest, Albert Einstein said that compound interest is like the most powerful force in the universe. Right. Like, I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah.
In my personal, the money I invest a little bit more on my own just because it's a hobby. Like that, I'm less diversified in nature, where I might buy individual stocks and bonds, things like that. But even then, I realize that I'm actually really not all that diversified just because I'm so much in the stock market, which is why, guys like you guys are both very diversified in terms of other assets, like in terms of the homes that you own and things like that. So that's been a big focus for me the last year or two, is trying to diversify my investments elsewhere. So.
That's good.
So you want to keep all your eggs in one basket?
Not necessarily. So I think you should only invest in things that you have a competitive edge and there's an opportunity in place. And then if your portfolio becomes diversified because of that reason, that's fine.
Okay.
But if you're investing to diversify, you're essentially playing not to lose.
I see what you mean.
That's the idea that I see, right?
Right. Put some in the dollar, put some in cryptocurrency, and do opposites. Yeah.
So you feel like where do you feel like you have the edge?
So
I shouldn't understand.
For sure. Yeah. So for me, it's always been real estate, right? So 90% of all my funds is in real estate, and the reason why was because one, I was working in banking for 4 years. I knew all the Hispanics in South King County. I knew everything about lending. I had a lot of contacts within real estate. I went to a lot of network things. I knew a lot of tenants that needed places to rent. I just had a whole contractors, roofers,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people.
You had the edge.
Yeah. So I had that. That was my competitive edge,
Yeah.
right? Where I can get a tenant in there for 5 years, lock it in. They could fix up my house. I get cash flow, and I don't have to go to the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm making money, not doing anything.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously, I'm just gonna put pump all that, and now I'm kind of at a point where I can't acquire more single family properties.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for another 16 months or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
you might care.
Yeah. Unless if I offload, and then also additionally, it's getting kind of hard to self-manage if I bring up another like 1 or 2 properties,
Right.
right? So now it's like, what's the next big move, right? Based off my lifestyle, the lifestyle I want to build,
Yeah.
and then whatever opportunities that come in play,
Yeah.
right? And so like if my portfolio becomes more diversified over the next years, then it does. But I'm not going to be saying like, oh, I need to allocate this much in bonds, this much in stocks, this much in that, this much that. I think that's total bullshit. Yeah, total bullshit. I totally agree. You know, and so I think like even with like investing in Jan's thing, or like I might invest in a wedding venue because I know the whole setup. With the guy that I'm gonna invest in. Even yesterday, I was talking to a buddy who might open a gym, so I might invest 20 grand into that. You know, but he has a whole network of people from the Sounders, Seahawks, stuff like that.
So that's where his competitive edge is. You feel comfortable with that. You put the money.
Exactly. And so like that's the only times when I've invested in a business, where I've invested in real estate, where I've invested in a stock like Bank of America.
Right.
You know,
you saw the tax reform and you were like, this is good.
Exactly. I mean, I made $2,500 in a week, and I just sold and done.
Yeah.
Right. So stuff like that,
Right.
and I think that's how you should play.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
I win, guys. Time to go home.
And that's also why you didn't invest in the Blackburn video, the movie.
Oh,
He didn't have an edge. He was pitched to invest in a film.
yeah.
You can watch it on one of our videos. Yeah.
Yeah. But
We
I
go
think I
through.
saw that.
Yeah, we go through all the numbers, and here's what the actors are getting paid. Here's who's endorsing it. Here's the famous people that are in. Here's all the total budget for everybody, and here's what you might make. You know, here's the average of what you could make. Yeah.
But I am gonna look at one of Zaina's best friends that lives in Chicago.
Yeah.
She's in the whole entertainment and movie business and whatnot.
Okay.
And so she actually flew to Miami last week to pitch her movie. And so
nice.
then she might need an investor.
Right. But
And
then
so
you have more in on it. You probably get a better return.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
then that's a different.
She's waiting.
Yeah.
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 You know what I'm saying? So and that's
Well, you need
good
the edge.
podcast.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, get in here. The point is, if you don't have an edge, get some pain so you can get one. Yeah, because I think pain helps me, at least, force myself into diving in. Like the pain I experienced from the 3D stock made me start reading quarterly reports, made me understand why they're important, or just, it made me do something different. You know, pain in my life has always been that great teacher that says you need to do something different. So same thing with you. If you don't have any edge, get some pain. That'll give you edge. That's my
Dang,
thought.
it's been 8 minutes. Hey, let's
Yeah.
wrap it real quick
All right.
because I still want to do a couple more, okay?
Okay.
All right. Peace, guys.